Welcome everyone to another round of the Metroid Fusion Any Percent Tournament of 2023. We are in the top 4 actually, doing the all-European loser semifinals today between Destructor from France and benchjuice from Finland. My name is Friday and I'm being joined by my co-commentator here.
Hi, it's me, Rasu. How's everyone doing today? I'm really excited for this match, Destructor. I'm a #1 fan, although I don't I don't really know much about benchjuice, but I'm gonna learn today, right? There's a reason why they're in the top 4. They must be very good runners. I'm very excited to watch this race.
Yeah, they are. If we do not count benchjuice's quote-unquote invalid P in his last race against FPIS, they basically are 1 second apart by their PBs. Currently, they are 4 seconds apart by their PBs. Both have a 112.5x. So
yeah, very nice. It's going to be very close race. I'm sure there are nerves between. Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be nerves between them, knowing that their PBs are so close to each other.
Yeah, Destructor mentioned in his race against FPIS that he would prefer to race FPIS over benchjuice because benchjuice is kind of unpredictable what he pulls off. But yeah, the winner of this race is actually going to be facing off in the losers bracket finals against Scotty, who unfortunately lost to an unfortunate death to Monkey.
Yeah, some would say it's destiny, but I think it was bound to happen.
Eventually, the king would.
Yeah, like it's got to happen someday, and it did. So, what are your hopes for this race? I really hope that it's a close race throughout, and RNG is kind of minimized for both runners.
Yeah, definitely same hopes. I hope a close race based on their PBs. I hope nobody gets screwed over by RNG, which we have had happen in the tournament already. Remembering FPIS's 25 beam run. I was certainly happy afterwards.
Oh, Destructor going for fancy wall jumps. Oh, benchjuice actually got it. I don't expect these runners to play it safe. They got to take every advantage they can, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be too sure. We have seen benchjuice in the race against FPIS opting to pick up the Sector 1 E-Tank and then performing the Hundo sack skip because he was afraid, because he had issues on that day and in the past. So I'm not sure what we're going to see, but we probably are going to see proper out divergence at some point anyway. With 25 missiles in main deck or whatever benchjuice is going to do with the sack skip. But yeah. Should still be close though.
And it is still pretty close right now. Good movement throughout the opening here, and as they make their way to the missiles, it looks like Destructor has a slight lead.
Yeah, slightly. Probably. I mean, benchjuice is famous for bad text, which is probably going to be the biggest part here in this. Him being slightly behind, but still both runners basically neck and neck. There's not too much divergence here anyway, because as long as you're walking in this game, you usually are fine.
And hopefully the text thing for benchjuice could be made up by maybe 1 or 2 extra beams from Destructor, and then I think that should balance out, right?
Yeah, I mean, to give you an example of how great benchjuice's text is, we have had benchjuice and FPIS race. They finished within 6 seconds, and FPIS's in-game time was 1 minute slower than benchjuice's time.
Oh no! Okay,
that's the extent of how drastic the difference there was. Having Destructor coming up here at the first Idor, unfortunately getting some beams there.
1 beam, just 1 beam.
Benchjuice got 2 beams so far. Yeah, got 2 beams.
Okay, pretty good.
Yeah, nobody can complain yet. Going to see what Arachnus is doing for both runners here.
Zero rolls here for Destructor, very nice. Oh
Yeah,
no,
Bench is currently not blessed with RNG here.
no. Destructor with a nice sweet spot there.
Yeah, slight time loss here for benches due to getting an additional beam and a rollover Destructor, but nothing too major yet. There's still a lot of idols left in this game that could still affect them, especially like the charge door.
All right, so at this point, Adam is saying go to Sector 1. And, I'm sure that everyone knows the story by now, right? We're in the top 4. You know, we've seen a lot of gameplay throughout the tournament. Y'all know what the deal is. We're going to Sector 1. We're going to save some missiles. We're going to pick up Charge Beam, blah, blah, blah. What I want to know is if there are going to be any, you know, extra beams on that Idor, like you mentioned earlier. The Idor is a 2-round Idor because of just a weak damage on missiles. So hopefully the Destructor gets up from the seat.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, this is like the most downtime you have in the run, where Samus is going down the elevator and DSA is coming out. So if he ever has to do anything, then this is like the point. Also had our first slight route divergence there with benchjuice opting to pick up the additional missile pack in the main deck.
Okay.
For a solid 25 missiles, safe Sector 1 cruising. Destructor should also be fine. I mean, as long as both runners don't get hit, it doesn't matter. Benchjuice just with additional safety in case he gets hit, which he did, I think, in FPIS's race. He had a lot of trouble in Sector 1, but I mean, it's still the beginning of the race for both runners at the moment, so probably still nervous.
Yeah, and it is a possibility. The going down that shaft, it is RNG whether or not those pirates decide to jump at you and how many of them do come jump to the right side. So 25 is not a bad idea.
Yeah, we're gonna see then soon if benchjuice is opting to do the same thing as he did in his last race, by picking up the Sector 1 E-Tank as an additional safety, and then also performing the Hundo sack skip over the any percent sack skip. Which is gonna put him slightly further behind, but he's probably gonna ignore the Sector 6 E-Tank then again if he does that. Therefore not losing too much time over picking it up.
Oh, interesting stabilizer there for benchjuice. I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
oh, and he misses it.
there,
Okay, he still has more. He still had more missiles than Destructor did at that race. So.
Opting. See, as I said, we probably are gonna see at least some variety in the spreads again here in the early game.
Huh. So we're gonna see that Hondo version sack skip then, huh?
I mean, I don't blame him. If he's not, I mean, sack skip still is a time save if he doesn't feel confident doing it and doesn't want to throw away like his whole tournament life already. Valid choice, I guess.
Hey, you know, this is the last round. It's do or die.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know, you just gotta take some risks sometimes.
We definitely will have to take risks against Scotty because there are no mistakes allowed against Scotty.
Okay. I don't know. Did you see that last race? I don't know.
Well, okay, no mistakes for benchjuice allowed. Or Destructor, depending on who wins this race. And then benchjuice having a lot of thinking going on with the missiles here, still in a decent spot, but definitely paid off for him to pick up the additional missile pack with all the problems he ran into here. Destructor, meanwhile, very, very happy at the charge core with some more additional idle beams here.
It's got a 3 there. Oh, he's good for the horizontals. I don't. Yeah, I don't think.
one of the.
Did he change that? Because if I remember, he was doing the downward verticals, right?
I think he always, from what I like recently, as in like within the last year, I would say he has definitely been maining that strat, and he was very consistent at it. I guess it's also more effect here of, or if it says here, always horizontal. I mean, I guess if it works, why change it? There's not too much difference, and if you have more confidence in pulling off one strat, go for it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it's in your kit, you know, that's what you're going to use.
benchjuice meanwhile also finishing his charge core fight. Didn't see the IMUs, but cannot have been too many either. Obviously slightly behind due to picking up an additional missile pack and an additional E-tank, on top of being slightly screwed over by the Arachnus pack, but still, both runners still very close race here.
Oops. Destructor showing off a little bit and blocked the door. It's a pretty good start here for Destructor, and nothing too crazy. You know, total of what, 4 beams now between the 2 doors.
Yeah, nothing to go horribly wrong so far. So
I'm really liking the goatee though. I don't know when he grew that, but
his #1 fan doesn't know his,
I can't.
his fashion
you know,
choices.
sometimes I just forget. You know.
Okay.
There you go. Rub that goatee.
The Destructor with very solid showings in the tournament here. What got him down into losers back then was unfortunately when he had some major issues with Ceres coming up, but hopefully we won't see them again, as we have not seen them again. So, but yeah, basically screwing up majorly at a single boss so can put you very, very far behind, considering that basically normal running through the game, there's like little variants that can happen. The huge time losses usually are mostly resulting of big screw-ups in movement, big screw-ups at bosses, or some RNG completely screwing you over.
You know, I'm trying to figure out if picking up the 2 extra E-tanks. I'm assuming benchjuice is going to go for the Zazabi E-tank as well, and I'm wondering if picking up those 2 extra E-tanks will actually even save you time compared to, you know, not doing sack skip at all.
That is I mean, especially the Sector 1 E-tank is kind of a bit more of a time loss. I think he's going to go for the Zazabi skip, but he's going to skip the Sector 6 E-tank, which unfortunately doesn't save a lot of time compared to picking it up due to the bomb train having to go off, but
right,
someone
and
can do the mod eventually.
I mean, and also the Sector 6 E-tank, it's just there, you know, like
yeah, it's
like
there. It's there. Wait to go for your bomb blocks to go off anyway. So, but I mean, the issue that benchjuice is facing with wanting to do this Hundo sack skip is there's not really any additional E-tanks available that he can use. So he kind of has to work with what he gets. Destructor picking up bombs here. Gonna check the time difference approximately, so we have like a rough estimate how far he's ahead. Which is like, seems to be like 16, 17 seconds, which is still
not too bad.
No. I mean, most of that, as I said, is already still benchjuice picking up 2 more things. That should have lost him at least 10 of those seconds.
And picking up an item is, if I remember correctly, 3 seconds, right? So.
Yep. And then there's also obviously the going towards the item, but yeah. I mean, at least it's not as bad as in Super Metroid, where you have to listen to basically a whole song when you pick up an item.
It's what, 6.66 seconds, I think, if I remember correctly, was the fanfare. So, like, it's too much.
It is a lot.
And I'm glad that over the years they decided that, you know, it's just too long, it makes the game too slow. Even in a casual perspective, they decided to kind of shorten it.
Bench is getting a lucky red X drop there, but completely ignoring that.
Zero beams, very nice.
Would love to see it. But the RNG is not over.
No.
Behind the RNG door, there is more RNG waiting for them.
In my opinion, this is one of the worst bosses for RNG, even worse than Yakuza.
Yeah, because you just cannot do anything. At least for Yakuza, you can jump into Yakuza, you can make him skip phases, but that thing, that just does what it wants.
So I think Bench would hope that Destructor doesn't do SA skip and kind of catch up that way.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
He did it in all of his races except the first one, I think. But he's definitely way more derusted and way more into the game now than he was at the beginning of the tournament, so...
Alright, so here we go. High tension for Destructor right now. One of the most dangerous tricks in the game. Hopefully he can pull it off and keep the sleep.
Yeah, Destructor is sadly not showing off a cool side of a strat here to flex for the commentator, but not sure if he's aware.
Alright, looks good. Very nice.
Pulls it off nicely.
I mentioned in the chat here, 10 jumps for Bench. not looking good.
Fpiz is a great and humble loser. Bench is coming up with the Zack skip now.
60. Okay.
Pulls that off nicely.
He can't. I'm a little concerned because if he takes another hit from anything else, then he might not survive the electric water coming up. So Bench needs to be very careful about, especially this upcoming side hopper.
He should be fine. I think you can.
Okay, good.
Well, now he's fine anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, he could still die in the horizontal where the ouchies do ouch. But I guess we'll see it when we get there. But it's still very, very close race. Nothing major happened here in Sector 2. Both runners now making their way into Sector 4, getting some nice speedrunning speed upgrade.
Yeah, so far Destructor looking very good. Very little to no mistakes in the past 18 minutes. Bench is going to be hard pressed to catch up, especially picking up those 3 extra safety items. I think they took the main deck missile, Sector 1 E-Tank, as well as Sector 2 E-Tank. So a lot of safeties has put benchjuice behind here, but hopefully Bench can catch up.
Yeah, we've seen it in his last race against Fpiz, where both runners basically were playing very, very well for what their PBs are. Basically, also both runners PBing in that race at the same time. where we basically had benchjuice never being able to catch up that lost time he got from those 2 additional packs until FP's made some major screw ups in one single split, therefore changing the lead. So yeah, it would probably require some either very bad RNG on Destructor's side here, or some screw ups from Destructor for benchjuice to gain back any of that time.
Oh. Destructor almost falling through. The crumble plugs manages to ledge grab.
Yeah, that happened a few times in the tournament. I mean, can always happen.
I've seen what Monkey do it, I think.
I mean, you're nervous, kind of still. It's like still early in the race. You pass like the worst part, as in like you survive the SAX encounter. There technically shouldn't be anything that can kill you. I say, knowing that runners have died in the tournament. No more Rhino beams for this. Oh no, we have. Oh,
this is what I was talking. My commentator's curse.
Yeah, I mean,
is so
I said
strong,
it too. I said. I mean, I basically mentioned you can still die now. That is unfortunate for benchjuice here.
Oh no.
That is. I mean, it is basically GG. The only thing that can save him here is Destructor dying, which most likely is not going to happen. Having seen some minor hiccups here at Ceres for Destructor. Still completely overshadowed by benchjuice's unfortunate death there in Sector 4.
Yeah, and that's the risk that you take, when you do Hundo Sax. And the reason why it's not as dangerous in Hundo in 100% is because in Sector 4 here, you're supposed to pick up another E-Tank before you go into Ceres, so you should have full health, but
yeah,
benchjuice kind of skipped that E-Tank, right? So he'd have to go through the entire area on low health, so it was kind of dangerous.
I mean, in addition, in Hundo you have a 4th E-Tank that he would have picked up before, so he would have a bit more health for the after that SAX encounter. But yeah, I mean, you had a weird feeling about him doing it, and I said, I mean, he could still. So now we see where we are here. So. Yeah, at the moment, so basically now, due to that unfortunate death, it was not SAX, he died in the vertical room in Sector 4 to taking a bit too many damages from the spiny stick. Yeah, at the moment, basically, this is Destructor's race to lose. So if he saw it or is aware, then he's probably gonna play it very conservatively, just not doing anything weird that could result in some death. Hopefully.
He could go for Sector 6 sex gift. I don't know. I'm not putting any ideas out there. We have had Scotty die in Sector 6 to a blue X. True. So we'll just have to see how the Destructor does here for Sector 3. And the reason why Scotty did die is because he had a pretty rough time with Bucks, taking extra damage when he shouldn't have, and that kind of carried over into Sector 6.
Yeah, that's what people get for showing off. Yeah, benchjuice meanwhile back at the missiles already. Didn't care too much about dying, obviously. Mentally cared, but immediately just restarting the race. Okay, I died.
So if this plays out like it's supposed to, we're gonna see Destructor against Scotty for the rematch. The Destructor has faced Scotty earlier in the tournament in the winners semifinals, so he'll have an opportunity to see Scotty once again in the losers finals.
Is that what the name stands for? See Scotty once again?
Exactly.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if benchjuice opts to do.
Oh, he's going for 0%? What is this?
Well, at least he provides some entertainment.
Okay.
I mean, 0% is also a percentage, so...
Well, he's playing on Japanese, right? So he'll have to do the very hard bob skip.
He'll get it first try, I believe in it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he could also go for 1% then, so...
Oh, bench
I
did
just
not
hope we
pay
won't
the
see-
missile for the core.
I just hope we won't see accidental. Well, at least he's providing some entertainment. I mean, we could say that technically bench just skipping all the items will save him a lot of time with all the item pickups, but unfortunately picking up some more missiles kind of makes a lot of boss fights go faster.
Yeah. So it looks like Destructor didn't even try the Shine Break here. And I think you're right, Destructor might realize what's happening and is gonna just play it safe here, it looks.
I mean, in case he doesn't know, I just hope that at least screwing up doesn't affect him in any negative way, that he just feels that he's behind and then ends up doing something dumb in the end.
That's the best though, like you don't know what's happening, you're blind and you don't realize that you're 20 minutes ahead, but you're still playing thinking that your opponent might be right next to you. That's the best, I think. Very nice data spark.
Nice data spark there. Well, we have bench just continuing on his low percent playthrough here. Interesting. It will be interesting to see, considering how his gonna see a nice classic conservative box fight from Destructor here. No fancy stuff.
No fancy stuff. Full health.
Full
Not
health.
worrying about dying at
Loves
Sector
it.
6.
Yeah, we should keep an eye on bench just for Sector 1 though, considering that he had some minor issues in several places in Sector 1. With a lot more E-tanks, it's gonna be interesting to see if that keeps up here now, or how his low percent playthrough is gonna continue.
I wonder if Scotty is watching right now and taking notes on how to beatbox without taking damage.
If Scotty is not watching and joins at some point for this race, he's probably mostly wondering what the hell is going on here. Why are they so far apart, and why does bench just not have any upgrades?
Does bench play low percent? Do you know?
He loves challenging runs, so he likes playing. For example, in Zero Mission, he loves playing hard mode low percent a lot. I only remember a time where he and I were trading any percent hard PBs. Insanely optimized category where everyone knows what is the best amount of items to pick up. But he loves challenging playthroughs, definitely. Not so far into Fusion, I think. But maybe feels like this is the if any time, this is the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have a 0% time on English, with 122. He does have second place in 1% actually. 4 minutes behind Scotty. So probably it feels like it's time to improve that PB a bit more. If he does that, that's the most exciting part about Bench's playthrough. Is he gonna do 0%? Is he gonna sit here and attempt to do the 7 frame shine spark? Or is he gonna opt for 1%? Or is he even gonna make it there?
So it looks like Destructor bombed that left wall here, going for the classic route, El Clasico. I know that there's a new route that skips that left missile there and picks up the Sector 5 missile, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion lately about what is faster, what is not faster.
Destructor showing Scotty how to dodge that blue ice. Very nicely done.
He has to show his opponent. He has to show him I can do that. You better not die here to me. Benchjuice meanwhile back at the charge core already. Had some minor issues in Sector 1, but not really anything major. Solid 2 double here. Or Destructor. It's playing it very safe here at the SA. Nice skip there. Yeah, so if he knows, I assume he knows he usually has the stream up at least muted somewhere. Probably gonna be very, very calm and relaxed playing here. I mean, he is smiling, so...
Yeah, and for those who don't know Destroyer, he barely smiles. He's always serious. So that's probably a nice indicator that he's aware of what's going on.
Yeah, the nice solid mega core fight. Basically, good fight. Solid 4 shots, triple double.
I just saw his split timer turn red ever so slightly, like just briefly. So I wonder if Destructor is going to compete against his PB here. It looks like he's on pace for it.
I would assume he's comparing to his PB. He is on pace. He's very well within his PB at the moment. He's like 3 seconds behind at the moment. Spoilers.
Okay, so I mean, maybe he might try and race against this PB here.
Yeah, so maybe not like super safe playthrough, which makes it all the. This would be so interesting if we have Destructor dying and benchjuice just being there with like his low percent playthrough in shambles. Not that I want Destructor to die, obviously. We have already had a death in this race. We don't need another one.
Destructor getting terrible RNG on his way out there.
Yeah, Puffer's not playing nice here, but when do they ever? Benchjuice me already back in Sector 2. Almost had a high five from the runners there, but probably gonna have them at some point. Has to be careful in Sector 2 though, because he can take one hit from a 0, but if he takes a second one, it's GG for him. And basically, that just counts for everything in Sector 2. If he takes more than one hit, he most likely is dead again.
Yeah, the Zoros do 45, I think.
Yeah.
It's insane how much damage enemies do, especially early on, and really... it's justified because you do get 20 E-tanks.
But they really ramped up the damage from Sector 1 to Sector 2. It's just a huge difficulty spike there. Yeah, but thankfully the charge beam that he now has lets him one-shot basically almost every single enemy he's gonna encounter. So as long as he doesn't get hit and kills the enemy before it hits him, not a problem.
Oops. Destructor having slight movement mistakes here.
Yeah. Well, Sector 5 is a lot of movement back and forth, jumping, turning around. All the while there's waivers or other things trying to block your way.
I really like movement through and around Sector 5 in basically every time that you come into Sector 5. It's just something cool for you to do.
Yeah, I love that vertical room after the yellow security. It's just nice back and forth doing stuff. benchjuice apparently took a hit there somewhere from Azuro, considering he's like very low. Should still be fine to tank one more hit, but should is probably fine, but should still watch out a bit.
Are we going to see reverse ice?
I don't think so. I mean, as he's on pace, I don't think he's gonna throw pace away just to show off.
And you can kind of see Destructors having a little bit of issue with wall jumping. We've seen it a few times already. I wonder if going back and forth between, like, for example, Metroid Dread and other Metroids, and then coming to Fusion, has an impact on your wall jumping. Because, for what I know, every single Metroid game has different styles, or mechanics, or types of wall jumps. And, you know, switching between them could be really hard for a runner, I think.
That's what I encountered recently after playing a ton of Zero Mission. And I played Fusion for the first time in like months, and I was like, why do the bombs take so long to go off?
Yeah.
And it's just me my ear. Back at Sasami already. Has to be a bit creative with his ammo that he has, because I mean, he has enough to kill Zazabi. But any additional missile he shoots, he will end up needing for the core fight later. Although the Destructor makes his way out of Sector 5 here, and I think it's, if you know him, chat, I guess it's time to post the thing. Because what is currently going on, Ross? Why is Destructor's game flashing so much?
His Game Boy's overheating.
Oh!
There's a computer. He's on emulator. Yeah, his computer is overheating.
Okay, yeah.
And we're kind of we're looking at the game through the eyes of the computer.
Okay.
And you know, it's flashing red. So
yeah, while that's happening, we have benchjuice back here at the SAX, which I assume.
Is he gonna do Hondo sack skip?
No, I was expecting him to bait us here into doing anything. I mean, as we've seen in the first run, if he's really that concerned with his sack skip, I definitely was assuming that he wouldn't do anything here.
You know, and I really do think that bench was getting those safeties solely for the reason of actually doing sack skip, if any sack skip at all.
Yes, definitely.
But the issue is that, you know, you put yourself through having low health going into Sector 4, and also the time. I don't think the time save is that significant when you're going out of your way for extra E-tanks. I'm not sure. I think someone would have to do the math on that, or I don't know, I might do it myself, but...
Yeah, well, the Sector 1, the main deck missile is definitely a valid pickup still.
Yes.
The Sector 1 E-tank is just for the sole purpose of performing an sack skip, where you then have to potentially skip another E-tank so you don't end up with 20 E-tanks after your playthrough. Jokingly. Yeah, I don't think he would have gained a lot of time from performing that Hundo sack skip. Now we also have had people in here. For example, we had Barrier die to the SAX after basically just saying in chat, yeah, I'm not gonna be the one that doesn't do a sack skip in a tournament. So I guess there's also like that mental component too.
Yeah. I mean, I've done sack skip against Scotty in a tournament. I paid the price, you know, but I was ahead. I was ahead too. That, you know, whatever. It's whatever.
I mean, yeah, it's part of the race. If you know that you are not super confident in your sack skip, just don't do it. I mean, nobody is gonna criticize you for it.
For sure, you know, and
At least.
It takes away, like, if you don't do sack skip, you don't have to deal with the risk factor of dying, you know, and it takes out what, 8 seconds, I think, or maybe it's 7 now, whatever they retyped it to.
Yeah, more like 6.
And that could easily be saved over, you know, 2 extra eye beams.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, or maybe you might have faster text.
And especially when you have to go out of your way picking up additional E-tanks and then skipping E-tanks you would usually get just to get some time back.
Right. It's very hard to convince me that that would be the case. You know what I mean?
We have
to play extra safe just to save maybe, I don't know, probably 2 seconds.
Yeah, Benchjuice meanwhile back at the place of his death. Still visibly scared of that one corner.
Well, this time he has more health. Despite being low %.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see where this thing goes. What Benchjuice is cooking here. It's like we have unfortunate news for Destructor's #1 fan. Emergency didn't go too well for the PB.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it. He stopped in several places trying to. He actually was in danger of health.
Yeah,
and he had no missiles, so it was just rough for him.
Yeah, Benchjuice meanwhile, I mean, at least Benchjuice is showing off here how you solidly fight bosses in a low % environment. Which is not really that different from any percent, actually. Just the only real difference is, I mean, yes, you are closer to death constantly, and you have less missiles. Yeah, but makes short work of Ceres here. Nice fight, not taking any damage. Okay, I guess we have Benchjuice showing off now. Opting to go here for the alternate way. And gets it nicely first try here, out of Ceres. That is definitely showing off here now. Well, Destructor meanwhile comes at the definitely possible strat because slightly missed it. Unfortunately manages to freeze the stretchy slightly into the room so he could still jump onto it and salvage that. That might have worked here, but still good. Gonna see how the animals treat him here.
You can't complain about animal RNG. Like Destructor's had some movement issues so far. I think he's taking it easy.
You can always complain about the RNG.
Yeah, like if you're gonna complain about something, complain about the impossible strat that you missed.
No,
if you're about animal RNG.
If you're ahead, you can complain about RNG. If you are 1 minute behind, you can still complain about RNG.
Yeah, it's not fair to animals. Come on.
I mean, they are not fair either.